Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another episode of Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations. In the last episode, we were able to examine the haunted house by using the little thief to kind of simulate the haunted house at the time of Edgeworth's assault, and in order to figure out who killed Colin Deveray, we first had to figure out who assaulted us, who assaulted Edgeworth, and that person was indeed Lance Amano. So yeah, we solved that case, and now we are going on to our next case here, which is Turnabout Reminiscence. Let's get going. Kay Faraday, the young lady who calls herself the second Yatagarasu. The piece of cloth that she conjured up has taken me back to many years ago. "7 years. Yeah, that's right. I did it. I killed the guy. But it was the great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it." I asked the defendant, "Just what exactly are you trying to say?" "Don't you get it? I know the true identity of the Yatagarasu." "The Yatagarasu is the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench." "Are you saying that I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it. You told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy." "Are you claiming that Mr. Faraday is the Yatagarasu?" "Mr. Rell, I think we've heard just about enough out of you." "Your Honor, please listen to me. I'm telling the truth." "You've got to believe me." "In accordance with the defendant's accusation, a new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. This court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready." We're starting on a dramatic note. September 10th, 3:20 p.m., District Court, 3rd floor lobby. We're in our old outfit. It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. Oh, we're the new prosecutor. And so it is that my first assignment as a prosecutor will be as a replacement for a prosecutor who has been accused by the defendant. Oh, sir. Hi. Have you read over all the documents regarding this trial? Yes, sir. I've memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is just about complete. Mr. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. I understand, sir. To have the chance to stand in court at such an early stage in my career, I am honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I am giving you this very rare chance. Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir. That such a legendary prosecutor is watching over and judging my performance. I have to be perfect in every way. Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Exactly. The killer had the gall to say that he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Even more outrageous is this claim that the case prosecutor, Byrne Faraday, gave the order. Ha! Faraday is such a fool. He's been cornered by his own prey. Sir, are you an acquaintance of Mr. Byrne Faraday? He is a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? He once tried to explain to me a way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Those who cannot be brought to court? That is nonsense, for no man is above the law. Well, there are always a few exceptions. However, there is no reason to even deal with such individuals. A prosecutor is a guardian of the court, one with no obligation to outside matters. Thus, there is no reason to deal with such individuals. I see. Edgeworth, disgracing yourself as Faraday has, will not be forgiven. Have no fear. I will not let you down, sir. In place of the accused prosecutor Byrne Faraday, I'll prove the defendant's guilt. Very good. I've secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. Show them all the power of Von Karma. So, have you achieved a firm understanding of this case? Yes, sir. I have memorized everything that is written down in the case files. Well then, explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you're talking about. Understood. A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Cotopian Embassy. The victim, Mr. Deadman, was a staff member at the embassy. The defendant in this case, Mr. Mackrell, was held for questioning on the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Cotopian embassy as well. At first, Rel claimed that he himself was the Yatagarasu, but that he did not kill Dade Man. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible that he wants to go down while in the spotlight if he is found guilty. There truly is no limit to people's inanity. But I digress. Continue, Edgeworth. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rell as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rell firing the gun could... The act of Mr. Rell firing the gun could clearly be seen from the visitor's gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to, by the real Yatagarasu, Byrne Faraday. That sounds about right. However, you've forgotten one thing. While this may appear to simply be the murder of a Cotopian embassy staff member, people are actually referring to it as the second KG-8 incident. The second KG-8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir, but I fear I failed to study hard enough. Well, even among the police, it's information that only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me, sir? Sir, what do you mean by the second KG-8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper. You have heard of the Amano Group scandal before, correct? Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, the Amano Group's director, was arrested. Under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. CCU was an employee of the Amano Group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light. However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Cotopian embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes, a Cotopian by the name of Manny Cochin was the suspect. However, due to a lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? Ha! If only I was in charge of the case, I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. To make sure that all criminals are found guilty, my mentor really is dedicated. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was as pathetic as ever. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG-8 incident as well? That's right. And now, once again, the victim of the case you are currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against that smuggling organization. And just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're catching on. We're good. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG-8 incident. So that's why it is being called the second KG-8 incident? Yes. Yet there is one difference between the two incidents. What would that be? The so-called noble thief that is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu? I'd better find out more. If it is true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Cadopian embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or, more likely, to steal secrets from the Cadopian embassy itself, since the item that the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I don't know the details. Anything related to the Yatagarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find it very ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof positive that the Yatagarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day and the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would have to be the first time the Yatagarasu left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about Yatagarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well. He's the prosecutor in charge of both the KG8 incident and the Yatagarasu case? Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. The frick? What is it, little girl?
You're scary, mister.
Oh! Did you need something?
I want to trade these coins with you.
A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies. But it looks like you have exactly $1. Is this what you want?
Thanks! That's exactly what I needed! Hi, Kay!
Could that child be here to watch the trial? How disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore? The paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is complete. Why, do you even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes? I'm so sorry. I could have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant. Ugh. It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. A proud one you are. They're so... You had better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Edgeworth. They're so identical. What the heck is this? September 10th, 4 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Just what is going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either? Bailiff, where is Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Oh no. Oh, you must be the one Mr. Von Karma recommended. Oh, hey! I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. So it looks like the trial is about to resume, however. Yes, it will be all but impossible to prove the witness a liar. Without the evidence from Faraday. What is that blasted buffoon up to? Silence! There shall be no yelling in the sacred hall of law. Bailiff, remove that man from this courtroom at once. Oh, it's Gumshoe. But please, wait, you have to listen to me. There's an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2, Mr. Faraday and the defendant. The two of them, they're both dead, Your Honor. What? Shoot. I figured that would be the case. Ooh. September 10th, District Court hallway. Ugh. No one's allowed on the crime scene. Period. Just who does this oddball think he is?
This is becoming quite the hotspot.
Isn't she Mr. Rell's defense attorney? Hey, you! No running in the hallway, pal! And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse. Talk to me! Excuse me, but who are you? Detective Tyrell Bad, homicide. I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So how did you arrive and inspect the body before me? Faraday requested for me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Mr. Faraday requested that you be here? I've already contacted HQ about the situation. I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid! I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I insist that you update me on the situation. I can't back down here. I have a right to know. Do I need to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? What? It's just a mirror. How dare he trick me like that? Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, a mackerel, was shot and killed. He was a fish. A mackerel, to be specific. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand. Was there anyone else who went into the defendant lobby number 2? Yeah, that big lug over there. His name's Gumshoe. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. Such impudence! This guy is really testing my patience! Why was I not informed that you were going to testify in court? Homicides aren't my only gig. The Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So you were called upon to comment on the Yatagarasu's characteristics, in order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was the Yatagarasu or not? Well, well, looks like you might just have a brain after all in that head of yours, son. Son? I'm not your son, Pops! Jeez. Do you have a minute?
You know, I'm not really into talking to people I don't know. Especially at a time like this.
I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court.
Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. So Faraday's substitute is a newbie, huh?
I'll have you know, madam, that I studied under Manfred von Karma. Do not take me for some naive novice.
Do not take me for some naive novice. So, you're a student of Von Karma. I should have... Those clothes are a dead giveaway.
Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts.
Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay?
I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort.
Just kidding. I was just goofing around. By the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. And if you're telling the truth, then we were about to go head-to-head in court.
But of course. I have heard much about you, Miss Yu.
But of course. I've heard much about you. You're a regular Shakespeare.
Did I say something funny? I'd like you to update me on the situation.
I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there?
If that's the case, then why are you here? What's so funny?
It's just the way you speak is so tactless. The person I was going against in court until only a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back into the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened.
That's a good point. I apologize for asking such an insensitive question.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, shit. Fuck. That's not what I meant to do. We shall meet again, Gumshoe. And you are...
Who, me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs.
point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a district prosecutor.
A prosecutor? I've never seen a prosecutor as young as you, pal.
I've told you my name. Now would you mind telling me yours?
Detective Dick Gumshoe, and just recently I achieved my dream of becoming a detective. More than a dream, it's what I was born to do. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first.
This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident?
You know that I don't have to tell you anything, right?
I know that, but it would behoove you to fill me in on what you know.
Wow, you're a proud one for such a youngster, aren't you? Well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge, so you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? As for me, I was guarding the door to defend Alarmy number 2.
So you were the guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty?
Well, I freaked out when I heard a gunshot and then I kinda froze.
You're a detective and a measly gunshot scared you that much? Then again, I can hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear one of those at close range. My father was killed on a boat. Wait, shit. My father was killed on an elevator, not on a boat. I'm stupid. My father was killed on a boat. Interesting. Other than the gunshot, he didn't hear a single sound of commotion. Miss Yu! There is someone here who wishes to see you.
Who is it?
A Canopian Embassy staff member by the name of Manny Cochin. What's going on? Detective Bad and Miss Yu's moods just changed all of a sudden. Wait a second. Wasn't Manny Cochin...
I'll be right there.
It's nice to see you again, Miss Yu.
Why are you here? I have no desire to ever see you again.
Now. Actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat?
Fine. Let's go.
Bad. Alright. I think that's actually where we're gonna stop for today. Roll the end card.
Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet! Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload! Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos! Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!